There's just so much more to hear.
Download our podcasts at DubaiI1038.com.
Oil prices rose yesterday as OPEC's 40 member countries met in Vienna yesterday to agree a common position on oil pricing and output volumes. Gulf countries are going to be watching Vienna closely this week as it plays a vital role in oil market dynamics. Etna Trainer of eTrainer Media is there, and joins us on the line. Good morning to you, Etna.
Good morning to you, Malcolm. Good to be on.
You are still in Vienna, yeah?
I'm still in Vienna, and we had a very, very long, busy, productive day yesterday, and we're about to go back and do it again today.
Well, just first, before we move on to today's meeting, what came out of yesterday's meeting?
Well, yesterday was, as I said, it was probably one of the longest OPEC meetings we've had in many, many years. Really, they were hard at work for about 12 hours, and you can just imagine everybody losing a bit of patience because we kept hearing that they would be back with a decision any minute. It eventually came, and indeed it was well worth waiting for. They sort of had the triple whammy yesterday. I mean, they actually managed to achieve everything they wanted to get done. They extended the production adjustment, as they like to call it. That means, yes, that another 1.2 million barrels a day will be off the market for the next 9 months. There was great speculation if that would be 6 months or 9 months. Then, as well as that, of course, they put the Charter of Cooperation. The framework is in place. It has been agreed. We have not seen the draft letter yet, but it has been agreed. And I don't know how long this is going to be in place for, but everybody seemed very excited about it, and we should get more guidance on that today.
What did you say? Did you say it was 6 months or 9 months, the production adjustment?
No. There's two separate things here. 9 months is for the production adjustment. So they will carry on like it's a rollover in terms of what's going to happen. They've been taking 1.2 million barrels a day off the market. That is going to continue now until March 2020. And the reason they've done that is they could have done it until December when they have another OPEC meeting. But they've actually thought ahead because the first quarter demand is usually soft in the first quarter of the new year. So they're going to put it in place until next March. And then the agreement we'll hear more about today.
Analysts obviously analyse the language at events like this to try and get an idea on whether there was consensus among participants, mainly to get a feel on how long a deal might hold together. From what you just said there, I get the impression that the move was pretty positive, and so, was it unanimous?
Eventually it was, yes. But without a doubt, they had I think they described it as a tough meeting. We were getting reports throughout the meeting that there was some disagreement, and I think it was stop, start. But, they really held on to the big focus, and they were absolutely determined to do this. So it has to be unanimous in the end. Otherwise, they'd have left us. And there was talk at one point last night that perhaps they hadn't come to agreement, and we might be back waiting for that today. But they did, at about 9:30 last night, come down to an agreement, and the Saudi minister, the president of OPEC, and the secretary general came and announced that. So they were very happy with themselves, and I think they really got a lot achieved. And there was good feedback from the market and indeed from all the analysts who were there.
How much talk was there about an ideal oil price, one that would keep everybody happy? That is one thing that the ministers will not talk about at the OPEC meeting. And if they're ever pressed about it, they will always say this is not what they're there for. Price, of course, will be a consequence of any of their action. And we heard it from the Saudi oil minister. They talk very much about the fact that it's about balancing supply. It's about keeping, the market adequately supplied and keeping demand happy. And they know demand has got softer. But they do need a good price for investment. They will never put a figure on it. And even though the reporters will push them on it, they will never actually mention a figure. Today, obviously, the OPEC producers will be joined by Russia and other partners, people like Mexico, to sort of talk about the OPEC Plus thing. This is OPEC cooperating with its partners. What is the expectation today?
Well, they have agreed a Charter of Cooperation. And this is, a charter can't be, a year-long. A charter has to be a long-term agreement. And this is something that, Khaled al-Faleh, the minister from Saudi Arabia, talked about last night. He actually said this was an historic event. This is the first time they've done something like this. He said it's a long-term commitment, and we don't have a date on it. We don't know if it's years out there, but he also said that this is in place. We hopefully will see the draft of the agreement today. It's a long-term commitment, and they've also said that they're really looking for other countries to come on board. Now, they're not going to invite the U.S., but any of the other countries, and journalists were pressing them, would it be Brazil, would it be Norway, people like that, and they were like, why not?
Edna, the oil price is falling this morning very slightly. What are the other analysts saying there about where the price might go over the next month or two?
People think that we're a bit range-bound at the moment, and we're looking at that price. Today we saw the price, Brent was up around 65, and WTI even went above 60 at one point. Yes, there's a slight drop-off on that, but the market reacted very positively to this. Now, I've talked with so many analysts yesterday because my role when I'm here is to talk to the analysts, and yes, of course, I am talking to them because of what I'm doing with OPEC here. But they are very realistic, they're very pragmatic, they talk about what's happening, what will happen. Everybody is a little bit concerned because we do have a lot of supply on the market, and we're going into a period where demand is a bit softer. We saw those PMI figures out of China yesterday, below 50. This is not what everybody wants, it's not what they expect, but they're also very conscious of the fact that the U.S.-China trade deal, there's optimism on that side, and all of the analysts feel that if that goes through, finds a resolution in the next while, that would be very positive for the market. But we are in a period where demand is a little softer. People expect the price, I think, to stay range-bound around where it is at the moment until the end of the year.
Well, Edna, thank you so much for joining us from Vienna. As always, we appreciate it. Edna Trainer of eTrainer Media, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
There's just so much more to hear.
Download our podcasts at DubaiEye1038.com.